Thank you very much. Um, by 1967, when the war started, I was not yet a full-fledged adult to go to the war, but I witnessed everything from the village. I felt everything I saw and was part of at least the hunger aspect.
Let's talk about that hunger issue.
Yes, the hunger aspect of the war. It was really, it was unfortunate.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Prior to the war, were you feeding well?
Yes,
It's okay.
before the war, at least we lived in the village, and there was no fear in the heart of anybody. No fear. We were attending school. Our school fees were being paid. We were eating well in the house. We were eating 3 times a day, and we were bringing water home. My mother was and father, they were going out and coming in without fear. But immediately the war was declared. Part of what happened was that the fear of war and conscription, most of the adults began to hide. Those fathers who were able to go out to make a living for the family, those that were afraid of going to the war, I mean, being conscripted as soldiers, they went on hiding. They were no longer able to go out to make a living for their family. And the issue of feeding was for the women only. I remember that my mother, who sells palm oil, she was the only person who goes out to make a living for the family. But immediately the war came, our food, what the food we were eating was no longer available. We were no longer eating 3 times. We went to eat once, and that once wouldn't be enough. A small ration of food, because the soldiers will go to your farm and harvest. You cannot arrest a soldier. You cannot reprimand him. Everybody was afraid of soldiers. So
There was anarchy.
yes, if you find soldiers harvesting in your farm, you do nothing. You don't even shout, because if you do, they deal with you. So the food reduced, and the worst was that if there's anything called food that was prepared by our mother, there will be no salt in it, and it affected our look, our health. We began to look lean. Our color changed. We developed swollen stomach.
Did you develop that?
Of course, yes. We developed. My mother had 5 boys. All the 5 boys. I was the even though I was the eldest, but mine was a bit fair. The other ones were looking like a ripe pawpaw. Their tummy was like pregnant women, and their legs all swollen. I will not forget that by that time you cannot lift yourself from here and say from here to go to somebody has got to help you, because you feel like somebody who is carrying a bag or 2 bags of cement on you. You are very heavy. You can't lift your leg.
Yes, you are hungry.
Yes. Yeah, there was nothing in the stomach. And if anybody happens to help you to go under the sun, if you have stayed so much where you are staying, someone helps you to go outside at least for you to receive the sun. If the sun becomes too hard on you and nobody is around, you'll be shouting because you cannot help yourself to come to the shade or into the house. Somebody who has got to help you. At night, by night, you hardly sleep. We were in that condition. Children of the 5 children of one woman. We were in that condition, and suddenly we heard that the Roman Catholic Church in my village, there was a bell. They rang a bell, and the village town crier went around and said, all the people who are suffering Kwashiorkor, come to Roman Catholic Church at so and so place. They say they'll give you food tomorrow. we began to wait for food, the food they want to give, because they have already announced that that food will contain some salt. We say, can we eat? Where did you take to get salt? They say, we give us food containing salt tomorrow. We began joy, a little joy returned into our hearts. We began to have hope of eating good food with salt tomorrow. And when that tomorrow came, I was able to help my four other brothers from myself. We managed to get to the premises of the Catholic Church in Umouru, Ife, isn't it, Mbise, the Catholic Church there. We got there. Those people that were trained by the church to attend to us, they were they were so meticulous about us. They were so careful. They really loved us. For the first time, we were able to see people who were able to, who not avoid us to touch us, and they gave us a red bandage, a red bangle.
Meaning,
Red bangle are people given to those people whose Kwashiorkor conditions were worst.
we are heavy.
Yes, they give you red bangle to identify for special attention. The special attention is not drugs; it is the food, and you see them bringing the food enough for everybody, and the quantity of food. If you look at the soup, even during there was no war, we were not eating that kind of soup. They gave us the soup and gari, and they made sure they were going around to make sure that nobody would take anyone out. Eat it there. We ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. So we are satisfied. About 1 month later, we also had that the Red Cross at Nkwoife, they are also inviting us to come for the same treatment.
After 1 month, was there any change in your system?
I'm coming.
Okay.
We were eating here. We are eating here. One of the things that lacked in the service of the Catholic Church was that they were not giving us milk, Oyster milk. That was early morning. When we go to the Red Cross, that early morning, they prepare milk in a big cup. The cup belongs to them. And they make sure that those of us whose conditions were worse, they actually drink. They ensure that we finish that big cup of hot oyster milk, they call it that time. And after eating it's coffee, they begin to
Okay, running
begin to
stomach.
stew.
Still.
Unknown to us that by that stooling, the issue that you are bothering us in the inside the body, they were going away. Gradually, those of us who could not walk, who could not lift themselves from where we are to another place, we discovered that our body became light. And before you know what's happening, some of us can now lift, we can now joy return to our hearts. The fear of death, disappeared. But one thing that happened in the relief center of Red Cross was that they recorded the names of all the children. They have a big register. We discovered that they call number one, number two, everybody knows his number. Number one, number two, number three, number six, Chima Iwuoha. Okay, the Iwuoha. Uzoma Iwuoha. Chebna Iwuoha. That's the list of my.
Your brothers.
Then they call number seven. They say number seven died last night. They cross that person's name. If they call number one, number two, number three, before they call number four, the report will come that number four died last night. Every fourth or fifth name, report will come that person died last night. So when we come to this relief center and discover that in the morning, those who came yesterday were reported dead this morning. So thought that they died because they slept last night. They slept. So by that night, I will not sleep. I will not sleep. I'll keep awake last night so that I will not die like other people. And when somebody is suffering this kind of illness, we have Kwashiorkor, and yet by night you do not sleep, you discover that your own condition will be worse. It was God who said that I'm alive today, speaking, becoming a man. I'm talking to you people today, the journalists. It is just that I have found favor before God. God said that to whom he wants to show mercy, he shows mercy. I received mercy from God that I'm about to learn. And I've been part of those people that perished during the war, I tell you. Then the day came when Ndibeke, with a station wagon, 404 station wagon, I don't know where they came from, came to relief center. Those of us that had red bangle on our arms, those of us that had red bangle, they said all the people with red bangles this side, all the people without bangle the other side. They came to all the people that had bangles, red bangle, and began to identify the worst among them. And they identified, I was part of it that identified with my brothers. We joined the other side. They put us in the motor and gave us food that day. Our own portion that day, gave us our own food, our own food. The ration, they called it that time. Kwashiorkor ration. They gave us our own. And they will enter into that 404 by the red called Libeke. We were happy that Libeke came to us and touched us and also to enter motor. And we entered that, but not knowing that they were taking those of us who were worse off to a place where helicopter will take us to Ivory Coast and Gabon and Ivory Coast. But when we got to the point, almost at the door of the aeroplane, one of the leaders, one of the Uyebeke who is there, he said, "This one is strong. Even though you are stronger than these people." He said, "She said I should go by the side." I went by the side. They said, "I'm strong. Because I'm stronger than the other people." So I should go by the side. And my brother, who came with me, Chibunna, they asked him to enter into the plane. So they look at me and say that I was strong. I don't know how their measure for assessing that I was strong. That was the language. I was strong is the reason why I didn't step into that plane to go to Gabon or Ivory Coast. And I can tell you that those of them that went to Ivory Coast, 90% of them were saved. Because part of our problem in those days was hunger. And if you happen to see anything that is called food, whether it is yam, whether it is ofe, whatever it is, if you eat it, it is without salt. And those people who crossed over to that area, they were handled by the government of that place, and most of them were saved. And look at the picture. Can I show the picture? The return of the Biafran children. I will not tell you who this one is, but the small one is okay. Okay. I will not tell you who this one is. I will not tell you whether it is me or not. I will not tell you that. But this one, the younger one here, is my junior brother called Chibunna. He was the one who entered the helicopter and was taken to Gabon. And when the appropriate time came after the war, after Biafra was after Nigeria, it was declared no victor, no vanquished. During that time, they returned them. Unfortunately, Chibunna, my brother, returned alive. This is Chibunna. And look at the picture of when they were coming out from the plane. These are Biafran children these are the airport. They have just dismounted from the aircraft that brought them back from Ivory Coast and Gabon back to Nigeria. Look at their picture. These are these children. I'll be able to show you my brother in the line where they are coming out from the plane. If you look at them, they are barefooted. Look at them. Can look at it. They are barefooted. To show that there was not much attention given to them apart from food. Even after that war, if those people were serious, they say there was no victor, no vanquished. And legit people that escaped to another country, they were taking proper care of them. At least when they came back, they identified them and enabled them to at least access education. Immediately they came back home, they were left on their own. Even some of them, when they came back, they really developed sicknesses, and even that my brother, he became very sick. It was God who saved him when they came back after the war. Most of them died, not dying for Kwashiorkor, but after going from that environment back to their native home, they develop sickness. But my brother also developed that sickness, which we don't know, and he survived. Look at this. Let me tell you a story that happened, one of the stories that happened during the war concerning hunger. One day, this was before the intervention of the Catholic Church. I don't know if I have opportunity, I think of what to do for the Catholic Church. I'm not a Catholic. I've not been to Catholic close to Catholic before, but it was the Catholic Church that saved my life in that time of emergency. That food they gave us, that food that contained salt and oporoko and meat, we ate, and our body returned to normalcy. It was their intervention that enabled us to trek to Nkwife for the Red Cross own intervention. The Red Cross intervention came secondary. The initial people that came to our rescue that saved, not, I'm talking of a whole community of children, thousands of children. But I can only tell you of my own experience. I will not tell of other people's experience. So that early intervention saved millions of our lives who would have perished that time of hunger. Then one day, we were so hungry. The male children of my mother, all of us. My mother said we should go to the farm. I will remember this. I said, Mama, how can we go to the farm? All of us are hungry. Do you want us to go there and fail? My mother said that if we obey her and follow her to the farm today, that the obedience will show her, will make God provide food for us. That she can assure us, if we follow her to the farm today, even though all of us, even herself that she's hungry, if you don't go to the farm, there's no hope of food tomorrow. That you follow her to the farm. Mama, yeah, we can't go, we are very weak. Trust me, if we go, when we come back, God will provide us the kind of food will not be eaten, even with food, with salt. I said, Mama, you give us food with salt? We said, okay. Chibunna, Uzoma. These people I'm calling, I'm Chima. Okay. Chibunna, Uzoma. They are all big men, no. But that time they were just little children. Mama said, let's go to the farm. We obeyed our mother and went to that farm. As we're in the farm working, I was pressed. I wanted to go to the toilet. My mother said, go down there. Don't come close where we are farming so that the other wouldn't disturb. Go down there. I went down there, my brother. Only for me to see a palm tree that fell some time ago. And it was covered by something that looks white. Covered white. When I saw it, as very long palm tree that was falling, covered by something white. I went and called, what is this? I think the people that are covered here, my mother came close and looked at it. It was arrow. It was mushroom.
Highly needed.
My mother shouted.
Big money.
I told you people that you follow me to the farm today, you are going to eat good food with salt. It has happened. Here, arrow.
We descended on it.
Immediately, we packed up the farm, tied it up, everything. My mother used her avo. What do you call avo?
Basket.
A basket.
Basket.
We collected the mushroom. Our mother instructed us, don't collect the younger one, the smaller one. Collect those people that are wide enough. We collected the big one and got about 3 baskets. My mother removed her wrapper straight on the ground, and to make up to contain the mushroom plus our basket. On our way going, my mother began to announce that here people began to buy the arrow from us. Some people give us salt. We give them our arrow and they give us salt. Some people give us rice and we give them arrow and give us rice. Some give us egg yolk. Do you know what is called egg yolk?
Very beautiful thing.
Some will give us egg yolk, and my mother will give them the mushroom. When We got home. My mother carried the mushroom to the market and made it come up money. That day, when as she was coming back, she bought Gary, she bought us, she bought Nnu. That time when we saw at that time what I bought Nnu, give me a canon. He gave away too much. Oh. Give me a canon. Gave away too Nnu. That make a mom. He had Nnu. My mother used it to cook salt. I mean, cook soup. We ate in our own house soup with salt. That our mother prophecy came to fulfillment.